This is about snippets from Pranab Mukherjee's diaries. This is again CNN News 18's exclusive. CNN News 18 actually accessed what Pranab Mukherjee wrote about Rahul Gandhi in his diaries. In her upcoming book, In Pranab, My Father, a Daughter Remembers. Sharmishta Mukherjee, Pranab Mukherjee's daughter, in fact recalls the former president's response after Sonia Gandhi actually decided to withdraw from the prime ministerial race and what Pranab Mukherjee actually thinks about Rahul Gandhi. It is written in this book, and I quote, that Rahul Gandhi did not have maturity to be a politician. Rahul Gandhi outburst on organization issues was nail in the coffin. If he convinced his own party, then he did not have the making of becoming a prime minister. It was further added in this book, and I quote again, that no, she will not make me the prime minister. This is with regards to what Pranab Mukherjee actually told his daughter when she asked him whether he will become the next prime minister in the year of 2004, when Sonia Gandhi actually decided to take a step back from the prime ministerial race. And this is how Pranab Mukherjee responded, and it is written in Sharmishta Mukherjee's upcoming book as well. It is written that no, she will not make me the prime minister. We have CNN News 18's Pallavi Ghosh joining us on the broadcast as well to give us more details about this upcoming book. Pallavi, a very good morning to you. This is quite controversial of being written in the book that no, Sonia Gandhi will not make me the prime minister. In fact, some words written by Rahul Gandhi as well. What is the opposition's reaction to this upcoming book?
Now, before I talk about the opposition's reaction, let's just talk about what the book is also very quickly all about. It's a tell-all book very clearly, because Pranab Mukherjee was known to maintain a diary, and in that diary he would often express his opinions. So it's been left to his daughter, really, who's now put it all down. Two important points, and they've usually been in the public domain, and that's exactly the point which the BJP has often been making. One is that how the Gandhi family is obsessed with itself. Anyone who's not a Gandhi is never ever respected, and they are always sidelined. So when Pranab Mukherjee reveals to his daughter, and he writes it down in the book, that, you know, I know Sonia Gandhi will never ever make me the prime minister. When you have no expectations, you have no disappointments as well. I think that's the point which comes across very much. And in fact, in the present context, I would say, when Mallikarjun Kharge is the Congress president, remember the BJP calls him a remote controlled Congress president. So the point which will now be made by the BJP once again is the fact that how someone who does not belong to a Gandhi family does not get the top position. But more damaging, I think, is what is coming on about Rahul Gandhi. Pranab Mukherjee, troubleshooter, astute, very experienced politician, makes the point that he lacks political maturity. He was courteous, asked the right questions, but he did not know how to implement it. He particularly talks about the 2013 experience. When I remember at a press conference publicly, Rahul Gandhi tore off a proposed ordinance when Dr. Manmohan Singh, as the Prime Minister, was abroad. If you look at the words which have been used by Pranab Mukherjee, how dare he do it? What right does he have? He is not a member of the cabinet. And according to Pranab Mukherjee, this was a nail in the coffin. This was one of the main reasons why people would not vote for a UPA, because if someone of your own does not respect your Prime Minister, then why should the voters vote for him?
Right. Pallavi, we'll request you to please stay with us on the broadcast. We have BJP's Tom Vadakkan joining us on the broadcast as well. Tom Vadakkanji, thank you so much for speaking to CNN News 18. How would you react to such statements being written in Sharmishta Mukherjee's book herself? She has taken, in fact, Pranab Mukherjee has taken a jibe at Rahul Gandhi and also spoke about him being selected as the next Prime Minister back in the year of 2004.
Well, Pranabda, I worked with him. He was the chairman of the media department, and I was the secretary. I've worked very closely with him, and he's an acute observer of political activities, and his views were, something that we respected. And if he has said these in the book, these are observations he has very closely watched, and especially regarding the ordinance, the mention of the ordinance. What happened that day, I think, was it's a black day for the UPA government, because with the signature of the Prime Minister, the ordinance was torn in the Press Club of India. I was witness to it. There was no indication that any such operation was in progress, but suddenly he appeared there at the Press Club. Even we were not even notified, and there he came, and then he talked about the ordinance, and he tore it. Now, the effect of that tearing of that ordinance was on Lalu Prasad. It was an attempt to kind of rehabilitate him, uh, give him a political reprise. And here was it. And UPA was doomed. I mean, it's absolutely right to say that that was the last nail on the coffin of the UPA government. And there were many other such activities. The young man is not ready for any job without having any experience. His mother wants to push him. That's the tragedy of this country.
Right. Tom Vadakanji, I also would like to ask you that looking at the present condition of the opposition alliance or specifically Congress, the things that have been written in this particular book about Rahul Gandhi, do you really think that it really aligns with their current situation?
Absolutely, because this insight that Pranab had on individuals, I've had long conversations with him on a variety of subjects. So his views were all, in a private conversation. He expressed his views, and he was wondering what was happening all around, because he being one of the most senior person and senior minister at that time, he was not informed of a variety of things. It was running on it was not on autopilot. It was run on by 10 Janpath. Only 10 Janpath and the Prime Minister knew what was happening, and the others were in the dark about the whole thing. So this will definitely is a current status of the alliance partners will definitely affect them, because after all you're pushing the same leader.
Right, right. And it's also written in the book, they have taken a jibe at the Nehru and Gandhi alliance as well. What do you have to say about that? Their lineage, actually, she has taken a jibe at their lineage. What she actually quoted her father saying something about the Nehru-Gandhi lineage. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I mean, it's in public domain. Everybody has talked about it. This dynasty concept, my father is the Prime Minister, so I should be the next Prime Minister of this country. Or my mother should be the Prime Minister of the country. This doesn't work in a democracy. It has to be the people of India who decide that a particular person is fit enough for the job. Just because my father happened to be the Prime Minister or my grandmother was the Prime Minister doesn't mean this is not monarchy, Democracy works on its own merit. I'm not saying a particular individual should not look forward for getting appointed as a Prime Minister. Yes, he has the liberty to do that. But work your way down, no? You can't start from the top and say, well, I'm the next Prime Minister of India. It doesn't work that way.
Ji, thank you so much for speaking to CNN News 18 and putting your perspective across. We also have CNN News 18's Shriya Kundu joining us live from the newsroom to take us through what all is written in this particular book. Shriya, over to you.
Right, Sakshi. Well, here I have some of the excerpts from this book. Pranab Mukherjee's daughter, Sharmishta Mukherjee, has written this book, Abode Under the Dome. And this book that I have here, the excerpts, there are two major excerpts that we are bringing to you, you're bringing your focus to. First, which reads out, and I'm reading it out here, that night he wrote in his diary, Rahul Gandhi gate-crashed a press conference by Ajay Maken, described the decision of cabinet as nonsense and that is totally uncalled for. He has all the arrogance of the Gandhi-Nehru lineage without their political acumen. Continued to write that his office got a call from Kapil Sibal and he himself got a call from Ahmed Patel requesting not to take any action on the ordinance. He also wondered how Rahul's reactions and actions would impact the coalition partner. That is one excerpt that has come to the focus, and the other one is this portion that comes under the Prime Minister India never had. And if I were to read out this particular part from here, which says, following Sonia's decision to withdraw from the prime ministerial race, there was an intense speculation within media and political spheres. The names of Dr. Manmohan Singh and Pranab Mukherjee were being discussed as the two contenders for the position. I did not have the chance to meet Baba for a couple of days as he was terribly busy, but spoke to him over the phone. I asked him excitedly if he was going to become the Prime Minister. His response was blunt, no, she will not make me the Prime Minister, it will be Manmohan Singh. And he had added, but she should announce it fast. The uncertainty is not good for the country. These are the two excerpts we are bringing to you from the book, which has caused quite a stir as it has been released, as the book has been published.
Right, Shreya. Thank you so much for walking us through all those key excerpts that you just read out for our viewers. Coming back to you, Pallavi, as Shreya also pointed out, there are some very important points that have been written in this book. Just for the better perspective of our viewers, could you take us through all those points that have been mentioned in this particular book?
Well, so this book talks about different periods in his life. He talks about the time when, he was made the finance minister, when Indira Gandhi was the prime minister, so on and so forth. It also deals with the uneasy relationship which he had with Rajiv Gandhi. When Indira Gandhi was assassinated, the question arose who should then become the prime minister. That is a question which Rajiv Gandhi asked Pranab Mukherjee, and Pranab Mukherjee says the senior most leader member of the cabinet, which means he was the senior most person. Now, that has led to a bad equation between the two of them. But I think the main crux or the bone of the book is his comments, one on Sonia Gandhi and the fact that she would never ever trust him to make him the prime minister, how there was a reluctance even in the party when he wanted to contest as the president of India, and how it took a lot of maneuvering, also convincing, cajoling, and also threatening. He mentions that also in the book, in his diaries. But I think the main point, which is something which could hurt the Congress party even now, is his comments on Rahul Gandhi. That he said Rahul Gandhi had some great ideas as far as strengthening the organization is concerned, but it also showed a signs of political immaturity. If he's not able to convince his own party, does he really have the potential of becoming the prime minister? He gives that instance of 2013 public tearing of an ordinance at a time when Dr. Manmohan Singh was traveling in America. Many of us were present there, and that's where he uses the scathing words, saying that how dare he, what right does he have to do this? He's not a member of the cabinet. He does not have a right to take a decision on any decision of the cabinet, and he's destroying the same arrogance which the Gandhi-Nehru family shows. This is exactly the point which the critics of the Gandhi family, critics of the Congress and the BJP have often accused the Congress of. And I think on a time when the Congress results have been very bad for them, we are seeing a book release taking place on 9th. It is going to give more ammunition to the BJP against the Gandhis.
Right, Pallavi, also it is written in the book, I would just like to read it for our viewers. Quote, it is generally believed that Pranab had a chance to become the Prime Minister early in 1984 as well. What more do you have to tell us about this one, Pallavi?
That's what I was referring to in 1984, the assassination of Indira Gandhi. This question was asked of Pranab Mukherjee by Rajiv Gandhi. I remember when Rajiv Gandhi had asked him that who do you think should become the Prime Minister? Pranab Mukherjee at that point of time said the senior most member of the cabinet. Pranab Mukherjee, being the finance minister, was number 2 after Indira Gandhi. So the explanation was that he is the one who should actually become the Prime Minister. How it was read by the advisors of Rajiv Gandhi was that Pranab Mukherjee had his own ambitions. He was pushing the envelope for himself. And I think that was the beginning of mistrust between Rajiv Gandhi on one side and Pranab Mukherjee. Many argue that one of the main reasons that Sonia Gandhi did not make Pranab Mukherjee the Prime Minister was also because, one, this history, and second, that she never did trust him. He had his ambitions, he had his experience, and that's also one of the main reasons why perhaps he never could become the Prime Minister, and as he's often called, the PM which India never had.
Right, Pallavi, do we also know about anything being written in Pranab Mukherjee's diary about him holding grudges over not being selected as the Prime Minister?
Well, in fact, this question is asked of him, and in fact, in an interview, and it's mentioned in the book when he says, when you have no expectations, you have no disappointments. Of course, everyone wants to become the Prime Minister. He mentions that also in his diary. Which politician would not want to become the Prime Minister? But you also need to be realistic. You also need to understand the ground reality. And I'm quoting from what Pranab Mukherjee has written in his diary, which has found its way into the book, Pranab, My Father. But that's when he goes on to add in an interview subsequently that when you have no expectations, you have no disappointments. I think Pranab Mukherjee had reconciled himself to the fact that he could never ever become the Prime Minister. I think he also realized that he wouldn't want to walk away in sunset. He would want to leave his mark, tremendous amount of experience he had, which is why he pitched for himself very strongly to become the President of India.
Right, Pallavi. Thank you so much for walking us through all those crucial excerpts from the book and bringing us all those crucial details on that story. We'll keep coming back to you for more updates on that.